Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 26th July of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we're going to take a look at two pieces of news. First, we're going to talk about how much money is Fortnite making exactly, at least on mobile. And secondly, we're going to take a look at our favorite, or my favorite, quote-unquote story, loot boxes again in the Netherlands. But let's start with Fortnite Mobile, as apparently it's making over $2 million a day. Yes, you heard me right. That's freaking insane. Recently we talked about the fact that Fortnite has made over $1 billion in total in microtransactions. We already talked also about the fact that in its opening week, Fortnite made like $15 million. The numbers just keep getting more and more and more insane. Also, Fortnite broke another record on July 13th, the day after the launch of Season 5. The daily revenue for that day reached just around $3 million, and it's been hovering around $2 million roughly per day in the recent months. Altogether, there's been about $150 million. $150 million spent through mobile Fortnite alone. And you need to remember, there is still only an iOS version available. There still is not an Android version. Though we are suspecting it to come out any day now, this is just bonkers. And the amount of money Epic is going to be making once the Android version comes out, because let's not kid ourselves, the vast majority of mobile users are actually Android users, especially when you go outside of America. The amount of money Epic is going to be making is going to surpass the bonkers land and is going to go into madness. And while I personally don't view that as a bad thing, obviously companies are there to make a profit, and thus Fortnite making a profit is a good thing for the company. It makes me almost scared, to be honest. I don't think there ever previously was a game that was such a cultural phenomenon. Even Minecraft wasn't this big. And we really thought that Minecraft is going to be the biggest game for at least a decade. But it took only a few short years, and Fortnite became this all-encompassing thing. Even like sports stars, like athletes, are celebrating using Fortnite dances. I can't literally go outside to the city to not see a kid dancing with his friends using the Fortnite dance. When I'm sitting in a bus, I often see kids playing Fortnite on their phones. It's just ridiculousness. I know that's probably not a word, but that's the word I'm going to go with. I'm sticking with it. This is pure madness. And honestly, what makes me scared about this is how big is the next culture phenomena going to be? How big is the next game that's going to consume everything going to be? Is it going to be like 1 billion players? Because now we're at 100 million? I don't know. Yes, gaming, obviously, I'm a gamer. I'm a fan of games. But on the other hand, I also think that especially parents should be responsible and try to limit how much time we actually spend gaming. And I know, I'm the one who shouldn't be talking. I'm actually gaming for a living. How many people can say they have been lucky enough to say that? But it's just sometimes moderation is the key. I don't game all the time. I also go out. I spend time with my girlfriend. Like this weekend, I'm going to go visit my family because all of those things are important. And I just want to warn everybody. Be sure to also instill all of these values into your children. Instill into them the fact that, yes, gaming can be your hobby 100%. For some of you, it may even be your career one day, whether you're going to be a really good pro gamer, or whether you're going to be a journalist like myself, or whether you're going to be a gaming dev. All of those careers are obviously good choices, but they aren't for everyone. For actually the vast majority of people, gaming will always be just a hobby. And I think we're getting to a point where lots of kids are forgetting that not everybody can make a living off gaming. I'm one of the lucky ones, and I'm very, very grateful for it. But that doesn't mean I'm not afraid of just making sure that we need to tell our children that it is not for everyone. Okay, moving on. This went on to a bit of a tangent for me. Let's move on to the Netherlands and let's take a look at Dota 2, as now apparently Dota 2 players will be able to see what they will find in a loot box before they buy them, at least in the Netherlands. And this is sort of weird to me. On one hand, I highly approve of this move. I'm okay with randomized loot boxes. I really don't have a problem with them. But the thing is, they do essentially work like slot machines. So I guess I do have a problem with them. But I have talked about that many times. But I don't really say they shouldn't exist. Though I do prefer the model when it's what you see is what you get. And this model, loot boxes containing items that you can actually see and you will know before you buy them, is an interesting way to solve it. So this appears to be a change in effort to comply with the Dutch gambling regulations, because you need to remember the Netherlands has was it last year or this year? I think it was this year, ruled that some of the loot box systems in games do actually violate the gambling laws of the Netherlands. More specifically, it was when the items that you could find inside could be traded in some marketplace, usually for real world money, or you could get some way to use them on other products. That especially applied to the Steam store. So games like CSGO and Dota 2 were, well, they were impacted heavily. And actually, until recently, Dutch players have been unable to open loot boxes at all for CSGO, for example, but now it's been switched that they can open them, but they cannot trade the items. And it seems that Valve is trying to find a solution that would fit the laws of the Netherlands, yet on the same time allow people to buy loot boxes, and at the same time allow them to access the store. And this might actually be a solution that is workable and I think somewhat ethical. Because obviously you will not know what every single loot box you buy is going to have in it. At least not until it is next one you will open. But it also means that if you go in and you know, oh, this loot box contains shit and I don't want it, it takes away the feeling of, oh, maybe this one will be the one. It sort of pushes it a little bit further away, thus I think actually helping people think about it more. Imagine if you went to a slot machine and told you the next one you will spin will not win. Would you play it? I really don't think so. I don't think the slot machine thing would be as big of a problem as it is right now. And this is exactly what this solution does. But in the end, this will not really help those kinds of people who are just like, oh, loot box, open it, open it, open it. Oh, next one, oh, next one, next one. Those will just postpone that feeling one step further. but it should help those people who are like, you know what, I'll buy one, maybe it will be the winning one. This time they will come see, okay, it's not the one, and they will go away. And because until they actually buy this one, the one that doesn't give them whatever they want, it maybe prove that they will just not come back to loot boxes. I'm hoping so. So we'll see how exactly this works out for Valve and for Dota 2. But in the end, I'm still hoping that loot boxes will just go away or just stick at least to only games for adults. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news, as we are a source of daily gaming news every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.